Hello and welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm sure you've probably seen the videos circulating around from Games Workshop. Not only do we have Plastic Sisters of Battle, we've got this Age of Sigmar Idoneth Deepkin army coming out, which look to be more of the old Black Arch Corsairs, and they have that feel to them from what I see, anyway. We've got, Plastic Sisters of Battle. What next? A Plastic Thunderhawk? I mean, we joked about it for years, but then again, the Thunderhawk initially was metal, if I recall correctly. I say metal, it was a lead model that you had to glue together, and then it went to resin with Forge World, and it's since been with Forge World. That's the only place you can buy it that I know of, and it's still in resin there. They've just updated the mould a little bit since the first resin Thunderhawk, but yeah, they've had all sorts of. I guess at the end of the day, the models like Celestine and Viridian, that fine cast Canoness, were both tested in the water. So I've no idea how well how well Celestine's done as a single box now, because I have no idea at all. I haven't seen her sold out, but then again, why would you spend more money on a single box when you can buy the Triumvirate for 45 quid? So there's that, and then there's Forgebane. Now, the story behind Forgebane intrigues me, because it helps to tie up some of the loose ends in the 40k universe. Like, what are the Blackstone fortresses actually made out of? It turns out it's a stone that can be either used to negate the psychic powers. That's loose terminology, that. It can negate all sorts of negate the warp and the 3D aspect to the galaxy. Sorry, the 4D aspect, because space is 3D already. Or it can be used to amplify it. And from what I've heard from books that have been written by various different authors, is that the Imperium plans on effectively building a wall of psychically nulled or anti-psychic, an anti-psychic, anti-warp wall around this great tear through the actual galaxy, and getting rid of it completely, which would mean that the gods of chaos would have nowhere to live. Everybody would be travelling at light speed because, well, the warp, although you could still technically, I suppose, access the warp by punching holes in real space, having the Eye of Terror as it was before and having this great big tear all across the galaxies. It's going diagonally across the galaxy. So having this tear means that it's almost easier to warp travel than it is than it was with just the Eye of Terror, but then again, it never stopped anyone on the other side of the galaxy just hopping around for short warp jumps. So yeah, it's handy, but it's also, I suppose, not really needed as such. It just gives the Chaos Gods somewhere to live, breathe, and die. And die they will, because once this wall of anti-warp material is erected, then the tear closes completely. Demons won't be able to come out as easily. Various worlds can be reclaimed if they've not been transported into the warp. Those that are in the warp will be, well, they can still break out to cause havoc, but not as easily as they can currently. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's Plastic Sisters coming next year sometime. They haven't said when next year, but they've said 2019 Plastic Sisters is coming out. So we've got Plastic Sisters, we've got Idoneth Deepkin, we've got Forgebane, which is out this weekend for general release, I believe it is. And at the moment, I want to start an Adeptus Mechanicus army. Mad, I know, it's this Forgebane box that's got me interested, because not only do you get the two Wardlaves, amateur Wardlaves, which do look nice. I will be honest, they do look like good models, and there's this silhouette on the Warhammer community page, and there's a gigantic, and I mean gigantic, knight. Now, I thought Night Titans were their own class, and then you went up towards the Warhound, which is the smallest Titan that the Imperium has. And to put it into scale, the armature comes up to the elbow joints or the waist on the Imperial Night. The Imperial Night comes up to, I would say, maybe a third of the way at a push. No, be lower than that. A quarter, more like a sixth of the way. Again, if that, on the lower leg of a Warhound. It's basically human-sized, a full-grown adult compared. It's basically a baby to a 7-foot tall man. Imagine that. It is tiny in comparison. Man, I thought the Phantom was going to be the thing that broke me. I think Games Workshop have found I mean, they did that survey a while back on the Warhammer community, and they said, ask just one thing, ask just something that you would like us to bring out in the future. And I think there were enough people who turned around and said, bring out Plastic Sisters. The Games Workshop are finally, after 22 years, 23 years when they get released, they finally get a updated model line, and sure they've had single drop HQs come out, either as part of triumvirates or as a limited edition Finecast run, but nothing says we listen to the fans more than scrapping the old monopose metal models, which, although they do look good, they don't hold up against other armies. Like, I could get an army of Vostroyan Firstborn, Imperial Guard, paint them all up really nicely, and they will stand their test of time against any Imperial faction, because they all are. That is how the Imperial Guard look. You've got your overcoats, your trench coats, you've got your bearskin hats, which is all part of their uniform. They've got their unique pattern las guns, so that's all part of the army. But when you've got a line of models that are plastic female models with bob cut hairstyles, wielding bolters, they're orphaned girls. I say, okay, their recruitment is Scholar Progemium girls from who are found by or trained by the Scholar up to becoming sisters. They then get gifted a lightened set of power armor, a Godwin Diaz pattern bolt gun, and told, your faith in the Emperor will protect you. Fire your bolter at those targets when I tell you to. And because of their faith in the Emperor, they get in-game benefits. And yes, everyone can laugh and say, oh, you just got another 5-up save, nothing impressive. It's a 5-up save on every single woman in the army, unless they have a different act of faith that, there's Shield of Faith as an act of faith, and then you can have multiple acts. So I think it was the Imagifier. Anyway, there's one sister who has a loud hailer. I don't think it's the Imagifier. I think it's the I forget the sister's name. Anyway, she's part of the command retinue, basically. And she basically encourages them to have another act of faith. So you put her with a Retributor squad. You fire off your Shield of Faith, so that you get your 5-up invulnerable save against all shooting coming at you. Because who doesn't love a 3-up, 5-up on every model in the unit? And then go, right, next act of faith will be a oh, what's this here? It's a I can shoot anyone I want to. Sure, I'll cast that. So yeah, you get these. You got the Retributors that can go. I think it's the Retributors, or is it the? Anyway, they've got big, heavy multi-melters, heavy bolters, and heavy flamers, and you just go, well, everyone's got a 5-up save. 5 up invul against incoming shots, and now I get to fire. I get rending on all my shots. So imagine this: 5 templated, 5 flamer templates in all these. This was pre 8th edition changes, so that's 5d6 auto hits, which on a 6 become AP -2, I'm guessing, or AP -3, depending on what rend is these days. That is a nasty combo, and that's just one of them. You get all sorts. There's you put different sisters in different squads, and the Hospitalier gives them all feel no pain, or a 5 up save against all wounds caused. So you can either have your Act of Faith, or you can have this Hospitalier running around with you, and there's plenty of different Acts of Faith, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do these new models, because I would love to see plastic multi-pose models for the sisters and just be able to have it done that way. And I don't want, there's only one thing that I don't want, and that is a model going with a new knight every time they realise they haven't got up to Warhound class height yet, and then gone, oh wait, we need to make another Knight Titan to make it up to the Warlord, so that, because then at the moment you'd get the Armiger, which is taller than a Dreadnought, then you get the Imperial Night, and then you get this new Imperial Night, which is a set of three steps at the moment, if you go from a Carapaces, which is fine. Having a trio of knights is fine, because like the Knight Lancer from Forge World, or the Knight, the Strix Knight, both are gorgeous models, and I want them, but I have to restrain myself. I must not spend any money next year at all. Not on Warhammer, anyway. I have a wedding to plan for. So yeah, I think honey, if you're watching this, and hopefully you will be, Sisters of Battle, please, or an Imperial Night, either or. I'm not going to ask for lots of things, don't you worry. I'm not like that, you know me. But yeah, you know what I want for Christmas. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, there's lots of beautiful models coming out, and at the moment I'm torn between Idoneth Deepkin, Marathi's Daughters of Cain army, Wanderers, Admech. Let me just put this out there. Let's say I'd go and get the Forgebane kit next weekend. If I get... No. I'm not going to do it if I get 70 likes, because that's just a ridiculous way of doing stuff. Comment down below if you would want the Necrons from it, and I would be giving the entire Necron half plus Necron rules if they're in there. So yeah, you'll get all the Necron stuff plus maybe the dice and the campaign set so that then you can do whatever you want with whoever you want on the Forgebane, with the Forgebane rules, and I'll give them away. I will do a giveaway of all the Necrons on this channel, and if you want them, comment down below under this video, say why you want them. If you're new to the hobby, if you're a veteran, either one, just say I want to. If you want to start a Necron army, let me know in the comments below, and I will get the Forgebane kit either next weekend or mid-April, depending on what happens in between now and then. I'm going to keep the AdMech stuff because I want to collect an AdMech army, and if you've got a 7th edition Atari Codex lying around and you don't want it, please send it to me, because I don't want to. The 8th edition Codex, although it is out, so I could get that, but I'll have to think about which Codex I want, because 8th edition does look good, but yeah, actually no, 8th will make more sense actually, because it's current and up to date. So yeah, I'll get the Codex anyway. Plus we get the Amiga Wardlaves. The only downside to the Wardlave is the fact that you can't change the gun currently. If they gave you the option of the thermal spear and say a mini Gatling cannon like the repulsor has, then it would have made more sense in my mind, but that's just me. Games Workshop know what they're doing, and they've been in business longer than I have, but really just giving you 2 weapon options which you can't change out. You've just got your thermal spear and your chain glaive. Just doesn't make sense, really, in all honesty. I mean, sure, they're a squadron of 2, or maybe even 3 in the Lord of War slot. So, Gaz, I'll be getting myself a Lord of War for my Inquisition, because the Inquisition can forcefully request and requisition any damn thing they want in the world. So I shall be doing that. Night Armigers, and hopefully when I get my tax refund, I can then go and get a Imperial Night as well, just to back them up even more, and then go, okay, so my 2 Armigers have thermal spears, my Knight has a repeater battle cannon, and I'm happy. So thank you for watching and hearing my rants and rambles. I shall catch you all next time. Thank you very much.